Mid-Michigan Now at 6 is live on the road at the 2025 Midwest Invitational Rodeo.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to this special edition of Mid-Michigan Now. We are on the road at the Midwest Invitational Rodeo here at the Genesee County Fairgrounds. Mike Woolfolk, Stella Daskalakis, we're already having a great time.
We are. We're dancing while we're out here, too. And this showcases the heritage of African-American cowboys and cowgirls, which is quite appropriate with Juneteenth coming.
That's
and,
right.
you know, it brings the experience right to our doorstep, Mike. And I'm learning a lot. I learned that the first African-American cowboy started in a rodeo in 1911, and then in the 1940s, more and more African Americans started participating.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm learning a lot as well because, I mean, let's face it, I grew up in the big city. I know nothing about living life in the country or on a rodeo, but I tell you what, this looks very exciting. And we've got a great show in store for you this evening to try to give you a taste of what you can experience if you come out here to the events over the weekend. Now, listen. This show taking place at the Genesee County Fairs is open to everybody. It's all in one nice area. We've got the arena back here where they're going to have a lot of activity going on. There are vendors here as well. We're going to talk about it all. But we're going to start by learning some of the history behind this rodeo. Stella's now standing by with the founder and CEO, Nicole Scott.
Nicole, it is an honor to be standing next to you. I did a little research about you, and you traveled the circuit for decades and started this. You're a Michigander. You're from Inkster, and you're back living in Michigan again. And there's an even larger purpose here. It is a rodeo, but there's a much larger purpose.
Yeah. So the purpose, it's each one needs to teach one first, right? And if you can dream it, you can be it. So you're coming from Colorado, and you're from Craig, right?
Yes, I was born in Craig, Colorado. Yes.
And so not very many people know the history or have seen rodeos, and it's about the education. And the original cowboy was African American. And then I believe a second ago you met my cousin.
Yes.
Who was able to get her a full ride scholarship because she chose to study agricultural science at a HBCU. And not a lot of people know about that. So I grew up in Inkster, and I went to parochial schools, Catholic schools all of my life. And so Black History Month wasn't anything that I was really excited about because we didn't hear very much about it. And so that piqued my curiosity. And then I did more listening and hearing and seeing, and now...
And we're so thankful
thank you for having me.
Brought you here, and it opens up that other education choice for young people. But and you're just talking about that. Let's talk about what's in store for people who attend.
So actually, if you look around, if you come and visit and hang out with us, it's more like a family reunion, right? So it's not just an event where you just pop in and then you pop out. It's not like a circus or anything like that. So the rodeo actually starts at 7 o'clock. But we get out here, I don't know how long you've been out here, but folks get out here probably about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And so they get to hang out. We have about 32 vendors, food, clothing, jewelry.
A little bit of everything.
And
yes. We thank you very much, and we thank you for speaking with us today. And
I'm so excited. Thank you.
It's going to be a wonderful event, so thank you very much, Nicole Scott, for doing this.
Yes.
We turn things over now to meteorologist Brian Ivy to find out what's going on this weekend with the weather.
Right now we got the gray skies across the area, so no issues though falling out of those skies. That's good news. But yeah, it's dreary. We've seen a lot of these over the last really couple of months or so. Only in the lower to middle 60s across portions of our northern area. Along the bay, it is in the chilly 50s. Now we do have Owasso to Lapeer around 70 degrees. That is nice, at least, for the rodeo this evening. Cloudy skies, temperature slowly dropping through the 60s, so not bad. It's just not going to feel super summery and hot. Rainfall, there's a slight little risk, mainly from Flint and south for some light showers. Anywhere else is going to be a pretty light chance, and we are just talking maybe a little bit of drizzle. Breeze up about 10 to 15 miles per hour, but no real gusts or anything, so also not really much in the way of a big deal. Pretty much dry into the early portions of the week, then shower chances increase by the time we get into the middle portions of next week. For tonight, temperatures bottoming out back into the middle 50s. We'll have the full detailed weekend forecast coming up.
And thank you, Brian. We are going to head back out to the rodeo tonight. Mike, Stella, looks like you guys are having a great time, and people are starting to fill in out there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They were here already when we arrived, about an hour and a half before this show started. And Courtney, we'll be checking back in with you in just a few minutes to give us some of the other news headlines. But before we get to all that, Stella, we want to talk about some of the things that families can take part in if they come to the rodeo tonight and tomorrow.
Yes, and Nicole, you heard her allude to, it's not just about the rodeo. There are all sorts of activities going on. In fact, as you mentioned, we're surrounded by people who have offerings of all sorts. And let's turn things over right now to Andrea Flores, who tells us more.
Stella and Mike, like you guys said, there are tons of things over here for everybody to get into. There's lots of local vendors. As you guys can see behind me, there's a mechanical bull that's also been up and running. And this weekend is really shaping up to be something special with local vendors, small businesses, and a lot of family fun.
But this honestly is my biggest event, so I'm a little bit excited about that. I'm looking forward to bringing my product home.
Sandra Houston, founder of Coleman Napier Company, is offering scented body butters, natural oil perfumes, and she's excited to share it all with her hometown.
So, you know, being home and being able to offer this to my home, you know, where I'm from, it really makes me feel good. And also be a part of this event to also all the other vendors out here, some amazing vendors out here. So it's such a variety.
And if you're not quite ready for the real rodeo, Willie Howard with SP Rentals has you covered with a mechanical bull that promises more than just a ride.
I give you an experience. Like most parties I do custom rides for everybody. I even change the music for everybody.
When the competition works up an appetite, Michael Ford and Marcus Glover, co-owners of Sling and Meats, is ready to serve up bold flavor and community pride.
For one, it's a black rodeo in this community, and last year I went to the rodeo and it was, I enjoyed myself going in there. And plus, we got some nice vendors out here. Our food, we got snow cones, so I think you will really enjoy the kids too. They got bull ride and all kind of stuff, and plus we got good food. Come see it.
The rodeo is open tonight and tomorrow, so if you guys are looking for some fierce competition, some great food, and a lot of family fun, this is definitely the place to be. Reporting live in Genesee County Fairgrounds, Andrea Flores, Mid-Michigan Now. Back to you, Courtney.
All right, Andrea, thank you. We appreciate that report. I have a feeling that mechanical bull will be a very popular attraction here this weekend.
She was excited about that earlier today.
She was. She came all dialed out with her best Western wear, too.
She did.
All right, so with the rodeo in town, it is all about cowboys and cowgirls, and we've got to get a flavor for that as well.
That's right. Mid-Michigan Now's Deshaun Johnson got to speak with one of the cowboys as he prepares for the competition.
Jordan Williams is one of the many cowboys competing in this year's Midwest Invitational Rodeo. He actually made his debut here many years ago. But now, with years of competition under his belt, he's ready to step it up to the competition.
I was like, man, I can do that. I want to do that too. And I just started researching, finding out, learning on my own, and then before I knew it, I started competing in the Midwest Invitational Rodeo. It was one of my first rodeos.
Detroit native Jordan Williams didn't grow up around horses or rodeos, and it wasn't until a special encounter when he was young that he would get the chance to start his career.
I actually got into it in an unconventional way. I was walking down the street one day, and the guy had horses, and I was just a kid, fascinated, and wanted to see more, so I did. And he let me come and ride, and that turned into years and years of what you see now.
Jordan soon realized he had found a special connection between himself, horses, and the cowboy lifestyle. And with that realization came the next step of his journey.
I started meeting a lot of other people that wanted to get into it. So staying true to my name, Urban City Cowboys, I was like, hey, I should start a ride. Well, my dad actually started it. And I was like, hey, I should keep this going and teach other people to come and do what I did.
Now the president of the Urban City Cowboys, Jordan gets the chance to teach others how they can be a part of this special lifestyle, and it's something that he keeps close to his heart.
It's a good feeling. Like, it's a warm feeling. It's just like, it reminds me of when I first saw a horse. It was like, oh my God, here's the horse, like, oh, and to see their smiles and how they just light up, it's just a really warm feeling.
Williams, along with the rest of his group, will be competing tonight and tomorrow at the Midwest Invitational Rodeo. If you'd like to learn more about the rodeo, you can head to our website, midmichigannow.com.
You know how I learned about the rodeo? I have family in Montana and Colorado. It is a way of life. They love it. They participate. And in the meantime, I learn all about it, Mike, too.
And you can feel that passion in everybody who's here that they have
believe in
for
it.
this. Absolutely. It's a way of life for these folks, just like what we're doing is a way of life for us. And we have a lot of passion for that as well. There is more to come from here at the Genesee County Fairgrounds, site of the Midwest Invitational Rodeo this weekend. But for now, we're going to send it back to the studio and our good friend Courtney Bennett, who's standing by with more news. Hey, Courtney.
Hi, Mike and Stella. Thank you so much. We'll check back in with you later on in the show. This weekend, protests are expected to draw large crowds across the country. Next, the message from Michigan leaders. All new tonight, hundreds of protests are planned tomorrow across the country. Every dot on this map right here is a city where people are expected to gather. Organizers are calling it No King's Day, and it's in response to the parade President Donald Trump is hosting for the Army's 250th birthday. With hundreds and hundreds of people expected to join together in cities here in Michigan, elected leaders say people have the right to protest.
Please make sure that you're doing it peacefully, and lawfully.
No King's Day, as it's being referred to, is expected to draw large crowds to streets and overpasses. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel says it's against the law to be on someone's property, and she urges people to be mindful of that.
So you have to have permission of the property owner if it's privately owned property. It's different if it's public property.
According to organizers, people are rising for democracy. They also believe people's freedom and rights are under attack.
The First Amendment grants broad rights to us as Americans to protest our government in the event that we believe that our government is acting in a way that is inappropriate. Or that we dislike.
We are seeing a president who is so scared of the American people that he's scared of their voices. That tells you this is a person who, frankly, is not up to the job.
Earlier this week, protests took over the streets in LA in response to the immigration raids. In some cases, protesters turned violent. President Trump sent in the National Guard and the Marines. Michigan Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist says that shouldn't have been allowed.
These folks took an oath to protect and promote and defend the Constitution. And not to trample on people's rights.
AG Nessel tells me she doesn't want to see what has happened in LA to happen here.
There is no cause of any kind for the National Guard to come under the command of the federal government, and certainly not for the United States military to have to patrol our streets.
President Trump was asked about these protests while taking questions from reporters on Thursday. Here's what he said.
A king would say, I'm not going to get this. A king would have never had the California mandate to even be talking to him. He wouldn't have to call up Mike Johnson and Thune and say, fellas, you got to pull this off, and after years we get it done. No, we're not a king.
In Michigan alone, there are more than 70 protest plans.
Now, your certified storm-ready weather.
Where is summer? Well, it's not exactly too much on this map. Look at Marquette, 47 degrees. It's 60 in Traverse City only. A lot of 60s and 70s until you get well south around the I-70 corridor and south of there. Temperatures are about 10 degrees cooler than where we were at 24 hours ago. And it has been near average to a little bit on the cool side of things as we've gone throughout June so far. The big time heat has been well off towards the west. Temperatures 51 to about 70 degrees, but most of us are in the 60s unless you're right along the lake shore, so hitting up north, not exactly super warm, or whether you're heading towards the lake for any kind of activities. Midland Commons music series here for tonight, dropping back through the middle 60s or so, maybe a peak of sun, but for the most part, lots of clouds. We got the showers from about the Oxford to Fenton area and south. Not everything is reaching the ground too much. Some of this is definitely a very light rain, but this isn't going to move too much further off towards the north. So a very isolated chance for any kind of rainfall activity throughout the evening hours, and it would be very light, and the best chance is going to be far, far south. Now, where it is raining is far southern Michigan, Indiana, Ohio. This is a pretty good batch of rain, but it is all going to generally stay off towards the south. We'll show you that here in just a moment as these low pressure systems kind of waver on through, but we're going to have a big old high that's going to develop, and that will kind of block us out. So there's the rain. Over the course of the next 24 hours, we get into sunshine as we go throughout tomorrow, and we'll see some cloud cover as we go back in towards your Sunday, but staying dry with systems well off towards the north or well off towards the south. I think we're going to have dry air, so while we'll see some cloud cover move in Sunday, should still be dry across the area. Temperatures warm up as you go towards portions of next week, and it's going to feel like summer for sure. The humidity is probably going to increase at that point too. What about tropical activity? Well, it's still very early in the year. Typically, it doesn't really ramp up until August, September, so we're supposed to be very low, and there's nothing here across portions of the Atlantic Basin that indicates that we're going to get active at all over the next week or so. Shouldn't see really anything that is going to be developing at that point. We'll see rain by the middle of the week, and then especially by the end of next week, where some of us could see maybe an inch or two. Temperatures back into the 50s for tonight, rising into the middle 70s for the day tomorrow, and then back into 80-degree territory Sunday. Dry for the next few.
Now, here are the winners for the final day of Father's Day Pop Quiz. Congrats to yesterday's daily winner, Cassandra Steele, and this week's national winner, Thomas D. from North Carolina. We'll be right back with more from the Midwest Invitational Rodeo.
Mid-Michigan Now at the Midwest Invitational Rodeo.
Welcome back to the Midwest Invitational Rodeo. This is our special edition of Mid-Michigan Now, live on the road, and we have Flint Mayor Sheldon Neely joining us. Mayor, this is the second year we've had this rodeo come to Flint. How did this start here?
You know, I saw it in Oakland County, and I said we have to get it to Flint and Genesee County. And I'm standing here rodeo ready, but I'm going to be like Superman. I'm going to get in the phone booth if I can find one and change it to my 10-gallon hat.
I'll tell you what, when you show up here on the grounds, his face is on a poster. He is looking like one of the cowboys ready to go out here and rope a bull.
Man, you know, it's great to be out here. Family fun, festivities. This is really a great time. We're going to be here today and tomorrow. Tomorrow's our health fair in the morning, and then we're going to get really fully engaged into the full rodeo.
All right. Speaking of the full rodeo, Stella's standing by with another one of the cowboys. Hey, Stella, take it away.
All right. Yes, I have with me Jeremy Brockington, who's a bull rider, and his little mini bull rider right here is Cruz. So tell us what that's like.
It's actually an adrenaline rush. We love it. It's just something to do. Everybody, you know, they play sports. They do baseball, football, basketball, but rodeoing is just a way of life that not too many people get a chance to do. And it's just an awesome adrenaline rush, and I love everything about it. It teaches a lot of discipline and self-love and how to be tough out here in this world.
And it's not easy. You are considered a supreme athlete, and so is this little one. He's going to grow up in your footsteps.
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Is there anything else you can tell us about what attracts you to the rodeo?
Just the people. Everybody's super nice, and everybody has the same goals. It's to work on themselves and love themselves. And a lot of these people, they ride horses and they have bulls at home, but you have to treat your animals with the same kind of love and respect you want to treat yourself with. So it's a lot that you can kind of go back and forth with, but it is an awesome thing to be a part of every day.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to give Crew a chance. Can you say it's time to go to meteorologist Brian Ivy? Can you look at the camera? Or let's go to break. Let's toss it to break.
Let's toss it, break.
Whether you're going to the rodeo or another local event here tonight, it is going to be a little on the cool side, eventually falling back in the middle 50s. Slight chance of a couple showers or light drizzle. Tomorrow we're going to warm up into the middle 70s for highs. Pretty comfortable. A little bit of a breeze. Shouldn't be a big deal at all. We'll see those temperatures warm up back to 80 on Sunday. A boost of humidity by the early portions of the week. It's going to be kind of toasty. Tuesday we'll get rain and storm chances back in here midweek. Some of those storms could be on the heavier side of things. Nothing crazy hot.
And thank you, Brian. We're heading back out to Mike and Stella, who are at the rodeo tonight. I was hoping you guys were going to get on the mechanical bull to kind of close out the show. No?
I don't think so.
I'll tell you what, though, like I said earlier, I think that's going to be a very popular attraction. Folks, this is going on tonight, and then again tomorrow. The show starts at 7 o'clock tonight, so if you're going to come out, you got time to get here.
Yeah, and there's so many colorful sights here and just some beautiful, beautiful people. That little boy, wasn't he adorable?
I was going to say, how about
a mini
Cruz?
Bull rider?
There you go. You get them started early, right?
Yeah, absolutely, in any profession, right? It's been a pleasure to be out here tonight.
Absolutely. So, again, it's the Midwest Invitational Rodeo. Second year here in Flint. They have parking. I think it's $10. And then, of course, I'm not sure if there's an admission charge to come in, but hey, whatever it is, it's worth
and
it.
Vendors.
You can have a great
Lots
time.
of vendors.
Yes, support the local vendors as well. That's going to do it for us on this edition of On the Road. We thank you for joining us. Have a great weekend, unless, of course, you have other plans.
Have a
Stay
great
tuned
weekend.
For Nightly News.
See ya.
Thanks, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Boogie Wonderland. Boogie Wonderland. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Oh, this is
my favorite.